So the xBrat trading buddy, providing the operational landscape that every trader needs. Operational landscape is very important to know what's gone in the past, what's coming in the future, understanding correlations. That's just the start of it. But this is a very, very, very good tool for NinjaTrader users. So let's look at the user interface. Trading buddy, we have quite a few things going off here. So I'm going to start at the top right here. And we can see this is set at EST time, 0227 at this time, and we can see this next one. This is changeable to which time frame, which zone you are in. So again, that's changeable, and I go through those settings in a little while. So we can see here we have we just had this data at 2 a.m. EST, British data, and we can see the time up here is 2 a.m. EST. So depending on what time you put in here depends on the time that goes on the economic calendar. The red line is where we currently are in time. Okay, so we know we've got more to come. We've got the French final CPI, we've got consumer inflation, and so on and so forth. So we've got, many more to come with the last one today of 0830 of the import prices for the US. Lots of other information in there, the forecast, the prior. Also, there's three little, it's like a little chart there with three vertical lines. Just the one vertical line highlighted there is a low impact. 2 would be a medium impact, and all 3 would be a high impact data event. And we can see we also have a flag. So that's a European flag, so that's European data. So it's going to affect Euro, US dollar, 6E. It's going to affect gold because that's very closely linked. We've got that correlation with gold there. So then the corresponding flag is also on the chart with a vertical line. So you know what's coming today, and you know what's gone on in the past, and you can look at those reactions, whether it is high or low. So you can start to formulate a strategy, understand which bit of data, if you like, affects your instrument. We then have our 4 indexes. This is our correlations meter. We've got NQ, ES, RTY, and YM. So this is important to understand that when we've got a mixture like this, we've got bullish, neutral, bearish. We've got a mixture there. It's not a very good trading environment for those indexes right now. Moreover, when we've got to be careful when we're trading other futures contracts as well, because there's a bit of a mixture there. Now this is obviously very early in the European morning here, so sometimes that is normal. But then we have our we can change these. So this is default. This doesn't change because this is an overall barometer, if you like, of how the markets are going. For me personally, if I'm trading the US pre-market session, I like those to be all going in the same direction, and then I know markets are behaving normally. We can spot sector rotation and all that sort of thing with there. But again, I cover that in our xBrat Academy Essentials course. But then with these ones, we can change these. So I've put HG and GC in there, and they're all both negative. So we've got they're both all bearish. So we've got a positive correlation there. Whereas the next one with oil and copper, I know this is normal behavior because I trade copper a lot. That negative correlation during that European morning is normal behavior. So for me to be going short on copper, I'd be quite happy with that because oil's going up. That's the sort of thing that I'm looking for. Again, I've put copper and ES there. We can see that's a neutral one because even though we're all bearish on copper, we've got a total mixture on ES there, but that's just an example. So let's go a little bit further into the back end and some of those settings that we can change. So that first one was this time zone mode for this left height here. So I'm in Abu Dhabi, Dubai. So that's UTC +4. So that's AST time. So I can set that. I can change that. So I understand what time it is in EST because all the markets revolve around that time. But I can, at a glimpse, see what time it is where I live. But also then you can see that time has changed on the calendar to that particular time zone that I'm in, so I know when those data points are coming out again. But the thing is, it will not change the corresponding time on the chart. It will just show the flags at the right time EST, and then that red line there is to show us that current time. We then we can take off the index group if we want there, because there's a lot of calculations when we first load the Trading Buddy up, but once it's loading, the performance, it doesn't, it's very quick. It just takes a little time, sometimes 30 seconds to load up, because it's got to do a lot of calculations for those correlations, pulling the data for the economic calendar and that sort of thing. But if you want to quicken it up, you can uncheck there and take off those, but I would suggest using them. And then the custom group there, we have 3 custom groups that we can put in. We can change those as we want. We can just have one running if we wanted to. When you put the instrument in there, it will automatically roll over for you, so there's no need to change that. The minimum correlation score, so we're out of 6 if you like. So we're basically 3 out of 6. So we can see, and as an example on this bottom one, all 6 out of 6 red on copper. We are halfway, so 3 out of 6 on ES. So we've got a negative correlation. We can see there's a correlation there. If that was only 2 out of 6, would be neutral. Okay, so that's what that is for. And you could make that a little bit more intense. You could say 4 out of 6 for it to be that way. Then we have obviously we can change colours. Some people are colourblind, so they can change the up, the neutral, the down colour, the background colour of this dashboard here. Lots of things to change in there. Then we have the economic calendar settings. So this is the impact. So whether it's low, medium or high, that will show on the calendar and then on the chart. So if you're only interested in medium and high, you would just put it on medium and it would show the high as well. If you're just interested in the high, you would change it to high. So range to show is important. So all available helps us look at past occurrences and see how our instrument behaves at those high impact data points, for example, how it behaves. Or you could just set it to current day to see what's coming up, so you can plan your day, plan that operational landscape with what's coming up. Event ordering, that basically changes that economic calendar to go from top to bottom or bottom to top. That's simply as it is. And then you can show the flags on the chart or not, and you can position them at the top or the bottom. Entirely up to you. You got options there. This is just an example now where I've changed things around. I've put the flags at the top, as you can see. I've got the time changed to AST where I live, and here on the calendar I've chosen only high impact data points, and I've just changed the way it runs in order. So now it's going, this is the older ones and this is the newest one down here with that red line down at the bottom there. So I want to take it one step further and just add some more indicators that we do have available in here and show you how to use them, because I think Trading Buddy is the last piece of the puzzle to get the operational landscape and trade those data points, which are very, very tradable really. So here we have the Guardian Zone. So again, these are automated multi-time frame support and resistance zones. So we've got all of these vertical lines, these times in which data is coming. We can understand that. Now we've got these horizontal zones on multiple time frames where that support and resistance zone. We're really going to town with this operational landscape now. We've got the bias depth heat map, which is our confirmation for trading. And then what I've done is put on the range breakout. So we can see these data points here. So what we do is we measure the 10 minutes, this 10-minute time frame on gold leading into that data. We understand the bias, okay? That's a neutral bias at that time. You can see the GBP flag down there. That was a high impact. That was, GDP. That was for the UK. But then we had the breakout to the downside. We had enough fresh air to trade down there. And again, when we go into the training in the range breakout, we can see that actually this is a neutral bias. So when we look on the bias depth heat map down here, we've got neutral, bearish, and bullish. So that's what we call a good state for that sort of data play. And sometimes we can put an order on to go long, an order on to go short, so we straddle that. The short trade was taken. It was a really great trade. This previous data point was exactly the same. We're not going to go long here because we're going into big resistance. What we're looking for is a breakdown from after that data reaction here, as it did, and then we broke through this support zone, and then that was the trade. Another example is the Vwap Predator. This is on the 12-minute Heikin-Ashi now. So we do have some very big high impact US data at 8:30. Previous to that, we've been pretty rangy. It's been up and down, and you can see by the bias depth heat map, nothing really happening there. We do get a buy signal then on the Vwap Predator as it starts to move up from that big high impact data point, but we've got a 60-minute resistance zone up above, so we just need to be careful. We need a catalyst, something to push through that big resistance, and that resistance is there because it's been calculated by the algorithm for the Guardian zones. So then we get that Canadian data come out on this particular candle here. Okay, and then the candle after it breaks through. That's our entry to trade long at that point for this move up there. So that was just two examples at the end, but the main point of this video was to give you a bit of training on how to use the trading buddy. It's there for that initial operational landscape, understanding where that economic data is, because that's very important. That operational landscape for the day really dictates of what type of strategy you're going to use, when to get out, when to trade, and when to be careful. And more importantly, those correlations. You can see, now we're seeing lots more bullish on all of these four indexes. So really, there's no bearish in there. We're pretty much all on a positive correlation here. So long signals on those would be really good. And then when I look at these individual correlations, this is a normal correlation. When ES is positive, we get bearish on the gold. So that negative correlation is normal behavior. So I'm quite happy to trade this. This is taken back in time, this particular trade here. But this correlation, I'm happy to take longs on ES or shorts on gold because that correlation is behaving normally. We've got a good positive correlation with gold and bonds at the moment as well at that point with those negatives there. So if I'm going to get at that point, if I'm in real time, if I've got a signal to go short on gold, I know that's a good positive correlation with ZB. That's normal behavior. I'm probably going to be looking at taking that short. That's that confirmation, if you like, and that's why it's called the trading buddy, because it gives you help in lots of instances. That operational landscape is very, very important, and then you can add to those with all of those other indicators that we've got with the support and resistance zones from the Guardian zones, the bias depth heat map, and then those signal generators, whether they be the range breakout, the Vwap Predator, or all the others, will help you trade through that operational landscape. So hopefully that helps. xBrat Trading Buddy is designed for the NinjaTrader platform, and it provides that starting point, that operational landscape for every trader, no matter what you're trading. It's really important that operational landscape is put onto your chart and you understand what's coming, how it's reacted in the past, what are those correlations, is everything behaving normally, and then start adding those signal generators and those support and resistance zones. You can get a really, really strong trading strategy.